castigated system, what we have in the world of management, we could attain about. India, as placed today, has many more challenges to face. While we are very likely just about sharing at the global level and operationalizing at the local level, involving the whole of the community. It's operationalization in a country like ours, which has many more diversities, many more divides, really becomes a challenge of management. You've got the experts working in the field of technology to assessment from the University of London, and these experts are going to benefit us with their own worldwide experience that they are getting either in the University of Cambridge and others, where we have been very closely associated. I've been personally there, sharing a lot of movement with health team and and these sharings, how they have benefited us in particular context of India, is something where when we start with the frameworks, as I said, the frameworks and the boundaries of the frameworks need to be made open. But we feel the challenge of the changes, fast changes, political, economical, and technological developments happening at the same time. We as the learners, we as the teachers, we as the educational managers or educational administrators, all have think for something of a developing a common agenda. That is what the challenge before us lies. With the advent and addition of the technology, information technology, and the targets that we have before us, reaching the outreach to each and everyone in the field of education, much more we feel have to be done. And I believe the sharing on this platform is going to enrich, as you rightly said, in all our forthcoming sessions, in strengthening upon these aspects from curriculum development to assessment, to interconnectivities, the multiple process approach, and raising many of the issues, sharing upon them, and proceeding a little bit ahead than what we are thinking of today. But tomorrow is going to be much more challenging, particularly this decade through which, from the very first month of this, 2010 to 2011, the way you have seen the political turmoils, giving a very clear indication throughout the whole of the world that every individual wants to progress. What keeps a young man, or any man for that purpose, alive, is the desire. Desire to improve, desire to contribute, desire to enjoy individually and as a member of the community and the society. Latest developments in other parts, particularly the Arabic world, Tunisia and Egypt, are indicative of that. They are aware with the changing times, aspirations of the community at large. India too has to build up an agenda of sharing, caring, and learning together. The aspect which I feel has been very difficult for us as to make the things operable in the field of education, which I have been always feeling a pinch of it, is probably to meet to the expectations of the people to deliver educational world of India needs to have a strong management competency development program. I fail to understand why we have many more services central to the state services in providing services for management in different other walks of life. The private sector is coming out with their own training programs, diploma certificates are without even a certificate, but indicating clearly in what way and which areas I have learned about, where I can do and contribute. You, many of the experienced principals and senior principals are sitting here, to whom I know personally. Don't you feel there is an opportunity for us to learn it further as a part of the management? Till to date, we are only struggling at hard with the National Council of Teacher Education about the B.Ed training program, the institutions who are imparting the B.Ed education, something for the elementary education in the name of primary level certificates handed over to the states to handle. Few innovations like that from the Delhi University in the name of B.Ed with the minimum graduation qualification for the teacher to come up, which has given very nice results and the outcomes are excellent. Is there anything for the educational managers, I mean, those sharing leadership roles and the headmistresses, supervisors, vice principals and the principals, how to handle? How to handle the manpower? How to have your vision, your mission of your own institution and develop it further with a particular, what particular skills we require and how and where to learn about that. Probably, Dr. Pant, an answer can be given by you by providing this, that I can browse, I can take it from different parts of the world and whatever we have, we can then imbibe and make it adapted to my condition, to my situation, to my environment, to my local limitations. And that type of my experience moves into probably the return, the productivity of each and every of the manager, any of the head of the institution, or the deputy head of the institution, it will be optimized, it will be much more improved. And ultimately is going to benefit the learner for whom we are. The other point which bothers me is about branding. World over, with the marketing strategies, whatever we are developing about, brands have become very important. With the upcoming malls, maybe in Delhi, maybe in the semi-urban, not in the rural but semi-urban areas, now many of the brand products are coming out with their own, whatever say, so-called established credibilities. Maybe they might have been manufactured somewhere in Gurgaon, but they without the brands. The evaluation systems that we have in India, from the elementary education to higher education, degrees and certificates, it is another bothering and very, very, very great concern for us. With the increasing number of the examinees that we have anywhere in any other part of the world, how to manage it? So this assessment and evaluation, the way it is continuing for years and years together with 41, 42, Professor D.V. Sharma is sitting there, he will confirm with the 41 or 42 boards that we are conducting the examination for class 10, for class 12. We are talking about reforms. We are talking to decentralize. We are talking to repose our confidence in the teachers. But somewhere at the end of the things, we feel things are not happening. How should we manage this? To be in very practical terms, having served in that, in the area of evaluation assessment for more than 2 decades in different capacities, even as being the chairman of the UP Board of High School and Intermediate Education, the biggest of the world, and the CBSE, the widest of the world, I sometimes feel discouraged about. Are we really assessing every examinee for the real expected competencies which one should possess or not? Are we really discharging our duty that way? Are motivating our teachers to evaluate the child in a proper way? We call it comprehensive and continuous. Are we ourselves continuing to learn and to improve and to objectively assess and evaluate? And this question has to be addressed to more than 1 million primary to upper primary schools, more than 165,000 secondary schools with millions of the children that are in the system. That's where I feel a little bit of ray of hope is there, that we join together, make the things clearly known and message conveyed even to the last, I mean to the farthest in India. We can harpen upon the strength of this country. And as we know, and as I always say, it is a serious challenge before India in this transitional decade of 2010 to 2020, in which this younger population, which India has, more than 65% of population below 35 years of age, the young India has to be made competent with competencies and much more with competencies and commitment to serve better with their own empowerment. And the other word which one of my professors always adds to, enlightenment. And education, as the 4 pillars say, for the agenda for 21st century, always mention about these 4 pillars. That only knowledge is not going to grow, and would very rightly emphasize upon the skills. In this decade, the skill is going to be more important because knowledge is available. It is for you to search from this place, that place, and go for that and take out whatever you need to learn about. More than that, the skill. Skill means my own practice. So to do, and both these things cannot happen unless we learn to live together in a global context as we have here in this EDUConvex. And last but not the least, on this very platform, a week back, the member of that education committee report re-emphasized and asked NIEPA, my earlier institution, to revisit the UNESCO report upon agenda for 21st century and rethink and develop upon, along with their skill, in the name of development of vocational skills, competencies with learning to be, means emotional to spiritual strength of each and every individual, where India can give a lot, can learn a lot, because it has learned a lot out of the centuries and centuries of its own experience. So, from those Nobel laureates and the researchers from different parts of the world, let us wish India also comes out with creators, generators like Dr. Pant, the help of all our friends from different institutes, from the United Kingdom and others, and all over, that we learn from each other, enrich ourselves, and face the challenges of the future through this sole carrier of education, which is going to build up this nation strong and leading the world. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity.